In 2022, foreign agents were fined in total almost 229 million rubles, which is 60 times more than a year earlier, according to the Ministry of Justice of the Russian Federation. Also, last year, the number of those who were included in the list of foreign agents increased by a record high. Most often, these are opposition politicians, journalists, activists, cultural figures, as well as international organizations and the media. The Kremlin is repressing anyone who can offer the people of Russia an alternative point of view.
In Russia, the reality is that there is no media that tells from there openly what is happening in general, that there is a war going on, how it is going, what is happening there, what are the real consequences, including for the Russians themselves.
A protocol was drawn up against the musician Noise MC on the absence of a foreign agent marking. He faces a fine up to 50,000 rubles. Previously, the rapper spoke out against the war, joked about Putin and released anti-war songs. The Moscow Basmanny court arrested in absentia film producer Alexander Rodnyansky. He is also on the list of foreign agents, and playwright Ivan Verpov under an article about military fakes. Rodnyansky condemns the war and exposes Russian propaganda on his social networks. Verpov said that he would transfer his royalties for productions to funds to help Ukrainian refugees who are suffering because of the war unleashed by Russia against Ukraine. Journalist Irina Pankhratava works in the publication which, according to the Kremlin, is under foreign influence and can convey to its audience thoughts that are objectionable to the Russian government.
There is some category of people who doubt. I think there are a certain number of millions in Russia. They seem to be neither for nor against and do not understand who they should vote for in the presidential elections that are just around the corner. This is part of the people. If they read my material once again, then their scales, of course, will overpower them in the direction of protest against the war. If they don't read this material and look at the next issue of Skabeva, then, of course, their scales will tilt in the other direction.
Teachers and scientists are another category of Russians that are increasingly subject to Kremlin repression. Valery Zvigintsev, a scientist in the field of aerodynamics, was arrested in a criminal case on high treason. In the scientific center where he worked, they say that over the past year, 3 employees of the institute have already been accused of treason, all of them specialized in aerodynamics. Now scientists are afraid to deal with this topic.
Everything that happens in Russia with these political repressions is in no way connected with the legal field. The task was set to punish everyone who do not march in formation, who does not mobilize to die in the fields of Ukraine. Therefore, there are bloggers and theatrical figures of a minority of various kinds, those who fall out of the general grey row, loyal Putinists, who are ready to lay down their lives for their dictator and pressing everyone.
An unscheduled inspection has begun at the European University at St. Petersburg. The BBC Russian service writes about this, citing its sources. The Federal Service for Supervision in Education and the Prosecutor's Office study the publications of teachers and topics of dissertations of students, checking the university for extremism. Reported by Serhiy Kulas, Angelika Blushnevska, UATV News.